Wait, first of all, I feel privileged because it's hard to lock down creatives to do anything because we always are like doing our own thing, our own projects, and it's hard to bring people out of their world into, especially so many of us, to be able to sit down together. So and being that you all are like Atlanta's premier talent, I'm just so honored to have you guys here. And I think what's so crazy about it is that I've been knowing some of you for a long time, and I just got introduced to some of you guys maybe about a few years ago. But even in the long period and the short period of time that I've been knowing all of you guys, I can see a evolution in not just your brand, but you all as people and the way you carry yourselves and the way you conduct business and even the way you've evolved your brands to be different than when I first met you. So how has it been? I'm gonna start with you, Drill, because when I met you, you were over with Derek Blanks as an intern, and now to go to have like a cover with Essence and to build such an empire. It's not even a brand no more. Drill Nicole Photography, and well, I'm gonna say Drill Nicole, because we ain't gonna just stop at photography. It's an empire.
I mean,
so how has the journey been? Because it's been long, but it's not been long. So how has that been for you?
well, honestly, I feel like it's been I feel like it's been an easy journey. Why, I don't know, because I think I reached out to Derek in 2015. And I started interning with him, and I did it for a year. I didn't have clients. I dedicated literally every single day in that internship. And so I never got a client off of him. I never got a makeup artist, hairstylist. I strictly went there to do my job, which was to assist him. So I just think really when I created my magazine is what really started people recognizing who I was. Because I started the magazine because I wanted to get creative and I wanted to put my work out there, get clients and stuff like that. So I was like, okay. And in Atlanta, people like to be noticed. People like to show that they've done covers, and I caught on to that very quickly because I moved here in 2014. And I was not doing photography at all. So I'm like, okay, when I started catching on to it, I'm like, let me start a magazine. It's so easy. I'm just gonna create a website. And then I just started reaching out to just different people. And I think that is what kind of started my journey of people getting to know my work. Yeah. Not me necessarily, but my work.
And you said something that I think for creatives, even here in Atlanta, is intimidating, is that there's a lot of work here. There's a lot of people here. And so like, I'm about to pick on you, Jordan. So like when I met you were the bomb. But I think you've had more awareness like in the last 2 years to come to your brand. Like, how did you deal with like being a creative and the thoughts of it's too many people out here doing it, or like the comparison of trying to be like somebody else? How did you like finally figure out your own lane and work at it and dominate it until you were known for what you do and created your own space?
Honestly, I want a buddy, just to be transparent, like a buddy of mine, he actually helped me out as far as like figuring out the elevator pitch of what my brand like stood for. So, I started doing like graduation shoots and stuff like that when I first started. And even when I first started, my goal was to be different in any type of capacity. Like I wanted to be different. So I tried to do everything outside the box. So it wasn't really like, for me, I wasn't really any type of comparison. I didn't compare myself to anybody because I just knew I was trying to be different. It took a minute for people to catch on a little bit, but I just stayed consistent with it. And piggyback to what I was saying earlier, a buddy of mine was like, man, you know, your vibe is nostalgic, or you got a vintage feel. It's like somebody said that, you know, my work felt like a home cooked meal, you know what I'm saying? So I just literally took what I've heard and people told me, and I made a lane based off of the feedback that I would receive from people that rock with me, and once I really kind of honed in on what the people were telling me, I started feeding them what they wanted to get. You know what I'm saying? I started just giving it to them, and then before you know it, like people were just on the visionary wave. Yeah. So
I like that.
yeah.
That's amazing. I want to ask like a question for everybody. How have you managed? Like I mentioned, like when I first met you all, you were one way and doing business one way, and then it's like, awareness came to you and you had to scale up and you started getting busy. How do you deal with y'all? Oh, my head, my spit. Oh! How do you deal with like boundaries in business? Because I'm sure all of you had like, we all have people that we knew when we first started doing it, and now we're in another place. How do you how do you adjust to having boundaries within business now?
Okay, so one of the things and it's hard because you have those particular clients that are accustomed to contacting you directly, regardless if you have a system online for people to eat, whatever. So one thing I had to do for my sanity, I take Sundays and Mondays off. I don't shoot on Sundays and Mondays, and if I do, you best believe that's coming with some extra zeros behind it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So because I was finding myself getting like depressed, because it's like people would hit you up and be like, are you available? Yes, I can do it. Now your work is piling up. You're not catching up to, the work. And so that's one thing that I did. The second thing is, like, people will text me, I send it to my assistant. Or I do lie. I lie. Okay, I do lie. Okay, I lie. I'll be like, oh, I'm on set right now. I'm gonna have my assistant to reach out to you. And I be with my bonnet on, looking ugly, watching Netflix, a show that Justin told me to put on, eating popcorn like this. I'm like, oh, I'm on set right now. I'm gonna have Chaselyn to reach out to you. That's because you have to do that, because otherwise because you gotta train these people or your clients to follow these boundaries that you want for yourself, not for them to make it for you, but you to do it for yourself. So that's the two things that I do.
Terrence, like you, when I first met you, like how do you adjust to it? You by yourself. You know what I knew about you when I first met you. Every time I think about you is the video that went viral from Dream Center. Do you
the one with Kiara and Tasha?
Wait. Which one you talking about? With Tasha? I think I know which one you're talking about.
The one with Tasha. Yeah. And so to go from being a videographer alone to now you have a whole team. So how do you deal with boundaries and scaling? Because I'm sure it's like people's like, oh, well, let me text Terrence. And how did you adjust to implement? How did you implement boundaries, or are you still figuring it out?
I am definitely still in the process of figuring out boundaries. I know for myself, I had got a dog recently, a few months ago. Her name is Sparkle, and she has to be taken on a walk every day. So over the past few years, I've been trying to just set a little time to the side for me, just to even just work out or something, just as small as that. And because now that I have to take her on a walk, I'm finding myself okay, I just went to go get me some running shoes the other day. I'm about to start getting active, and she's kind of forcing me to, but I've always been active, just never really had time to, or set time aside to do it. But now that I'm starting to do that, it literally has helped me just start being more active, even start trying to eat more healthy. And those are just the basic things, because when you're in front of a computer, for the first 4 or 5 years of just working, I was constantly in front of a computer, and it becomes your normal. Mm-hmm. So you don't realize that you're just working so much in front of the computer all day, and you're not even doing basic things. You're not even literally working out. You're not watching your health. You're not even watching your social life. You're like, dang, I don't even got nothing in the closet to wear if I want to go on a little outing, because you put your business first. So right now I'm literally just learning balance. And I've been just reading a lot of books on that. And that one thing I've heard recently is that basically greatness comes from radical imbalance, which was very kind of deep to me because I'm like, it takes a while. Like, you really have to be focused on that one thing, and greatness does come when you're literally focused on it, and that's the only thing you focused on. Like, greatness does come from it. However, everything else is just, you know, not saying that in shambles, but you got to get back to it. So it's definitely those seasons where you have to like just hone in and focus on it. And then once that kind of gets settled, then move on to the next. But I'm definitely still in transition because once I got myself settled, then that's when the team kind of aspect took off. And whereas like now I don't do anything by myself. So, and then now it's like getting them clarity and writing SOPs for them and doing all of that just for everybody to have the same understanding and clarity. But yeah.
How you got boundaries there? You still figuring it out?
Still figuring it out. I think the unique part is that I had to start choosing to live for myself. And a lot of times I would say yes to everybody, but and so it's like
that's hard.
It was a point in my life where I was in grad school. Like I'm in grad school right now, right? And you saying yes to clients, you showing up here, you showing up there, but then you start to look like at your schoolwork, the stuff that you're paying for, people give you scholarship for, you got Fs, and like. You know what I'm saying? But when I applied, he was like, David, you said you wanted to continue the family's legacy, become a professor, do all these things, but you're not like fulfilling that part of yourself that you said yes because you're like, ooh, a quick buck, a quick this, a quick that, and then you start looking at yourself and you're like, bro, like the longevity of it all. You know what I'm saying? So finding that space to say yes to David has been like a key component to like setting boundaries. I think even in the smaller markets, like building the boundaries just at home. You know, I have a high capacity for people like, y'all hear my Sundays. Y'all heard Pastor talk about my Sunday. Between going into Belong, to my church, to leaving home, going back home, seeing about mama and daddy and make sure they straight, then going back and having to read 15 pages for a class I got tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it had to come to a point like it's like, hey church, hey mom and daddy, I ain't gonna be able to come to church today. I need to make sure I get my schoolwork. I got a midterm tomorrow. Or hey, y'all, I'm gonna just send somebody from the team. I'm gonna send Major or something. You know what I'm saying? Just building that space where you can be like, David, yeah, I'm saying yeah to you. I'm saying yeah to this.
I just had a conversation with somebody, and one thing that I've realized over the last 2 years of my life is that high capacity, creative people have to be intentional about putting boundaries around themselves.
Yes.
Because this is not common. Like, when you're in your own silo and you're working, because you're such a producer and you do it without thinking about it, you feel like it's your norm. But that ain't normal everywhere for somebody to be good and dependable, good and got good business. Like, you don't find that. You're either gonna find somebody who's really good with terrible business or terrible business and just the bomb. You can't like that. But it's rare that you find somebody that is a double threat. And when people identify that you are that, they will suck the life out of you.
Yes.
Suck it dry.
If you don't put proper boundaries in place. And what I had to learn, because they had to help me not be resentful for people, I had started getting to a place where I would look at my phone and my insides would just scream from people texting me. And I had to make peace with knowing that a lot of times people don't do that to be negative or to just draw from you. It's just they have an innate thing to connect with something that's producing. And so I had to learn that it was up to me to put the boundaries around myself and to teach people how to deal with me. And I'm still on that journey with teaching people how to deal with me. And not when I say the word teaching, I'm not saying like, B, don't call me no more. Or you know, like, I'm not saying that, but literally teaching people and rerouting people on my practices and what I'm doing. Somebody texted me like, hey, I know you're used to texting me this way, but I have a process in place now, and this process helps me be my best self for you. So I would rather go this route to ensure that I'm giving you what you need. But it's literally reroute people because people, when I tell you, and let me tell you about me, I got to a place where this is how I knew it was time for me to put boundaries in. Because I had reached a place in my career where accolades and things like that did not faze me. People would tell me, oh my God, your work is amazing. I'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when I first started doing graphics, I was excited to do like, you know, you like,
the small stuff.
I never forget when I did, let me tell you, when I did Kiara's Graceland, I literally, me and my mama drove to Walmart, got out, we standing in front of the display, like taking pictures, and over time, I had won the Stella Award. For Tasha Roy's album. And I was on a panel and the girl was like, you won the Stella Award? And I was like, I'm literally thinking, I said, who is she talking about? I had forgot I even won it. Because after that, I realized like, that's not the most important thing to me anymore. What's important is myself. And I can't get so lost in what I've done that I neglect myself. Like it was what you were saying, like you'll get to the point where you start neglecting, like I had come to a place, I was like, Justin, you're doing so much work, you're not even sleeping.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like you go to bed at 3 and wake up at 8.
Yep.
That's not normal.
And it becomes your normal. It becomes your normal. Yeah.
That is, you're literally one day I was on the sofa, I said, Justin, you're answering a text message at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
A client is texting you at 3:35 a.m. and you're responding like it's normal. That's not normal. You go to bed at like 10.
Exactly.
So like,
It's not, and you know what? When I said I had got depressed, like it got to a point where I literally would be done with the shoot, and I would just sit on the sofa at the studio like, because it drains you. Like giving your energy on a shoot for I don't know how many hours, it can drain, especially if you're not natural. People think I'm an extrovert. I'm totally not. So it's like, it takes a lot out of me to give you my energy. Then when you have the audacity to text me, and I ain't even got home yet, and you like, can I get my link to my pictures? And I'm like, I just left you. Like, I literally am in Chick-fil-A line, and I ain't even got home yet, and you asking for your link? And it's like, and then in your mind, you feel like, well, let me hurry up and go home so I can send them this link because I don't want a bad review. I don't want them thinking that I got bad business. I want to please this client. And it's like, it got to a point where all of that at one time, I would go home crying, in the shower crying. And I'm like, I shouldn't feel like this. I should love what I do. The passion should just be there. And I'm just like excited. These people shouldn't drain the life out of you, but they do. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was like, I had to take a step back and like, okay, let me reevaluate. Maybe I'm not doing something right. Maybe I'm not teaching them, like you said, on how to deal with me. Maybe I need to get an assistant so that way I can cut myself out so they can y'all can stress her. Don't stress me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you just got to figure it out. It's a figure it out type of being an entrepreneur. You just got to figure things out that works best for yourself and stop thinking about what works best for the client sometimes. Because you can lose yourself in this business.
When you in that place where you not like setting the boundaries, you kind of like stay at employee mode forever. And you can never build that empire to where you're CEO. Because all the people that I look up to, CEOs, they be out on the golf course there too. You know what I'm saying? They having a good time, chilling, relaxing. You know what I'm saying? They got all these systems in place, but when you can't run the system, put it in place, and go through it in your business, you gonna forever be the slave, bro. The slave to the dollar, and that ain't what I want. I ain't lying. That ain't what I want. You know what I'm saying?
How you deal with your boundaries?
Me? How do I deal with my boundaries?
I feel like you still working through it, Jordan.
Me?
I'm working through it. So, yeah.
Well, honestly, I attract a certain type of clientele. So, I don't really, now at the point, I don't really get too many clients that like, get on my nerves. I don't know what it is. Maybe because my brain, I changed my thought process. Because I think what I do to me is like a form of ministry. You know what I'm saying? So like, I try to give the best version of me to my clients and stuff like that. So it's weird, like, but I do the boundaries part, and y'all might laugh at me like, if you don't like, if you hit me up and you don't say hey, I don't respond. If you don't like good morning, like it's like simple stuff. So like that's me, like I don't know, I got like discerning spirit, like I can off rip I can tell you if you like you're gonna be acting funny or not. So I don't even like entertain it. You know what I'm saying? So but other than that, if it's like if you contact me, if you DM me and it's not professional, I don't respond. If it's an email, I don't respond.
I was professional and I DM'd you about shooting me and you ain't.
Nah,
you ain't.
so Drea didn't even say. I think that's why I think.
I was professional.
Nah, so I remember you showed me. I remember when I first seen Drea, and it was like I saw the essence. I was like, yo, this is hard. Like when I saw her picture, I was like, this is crazy. She hit me up. I was so excited. I was like, oh shoot, Drea.
I didn't feel none of that.
But honestly, she didn't say hey. She didn't say hey, how you doing? So I probably took. I ain't gonna lie. I probably took like a day or two to respond because
He took a minute.
oh yeah, I don't. That's my boundaries.
We from the
like,
South, we like mountains. You
like, but
Let me good morning you. Okay?
yeah, but like, but people treat me like they treat you differently. Like people treat me like it's an honor to work. Like some people, like, oh my God, it's an honor to work with you. Yeah. I hate that I'm saying I'm putting myself like on a pedestal or anything, but like I feel like when people treat you like that, like they don't cross you up. They don't do nothing funny. You know what I'm saying? Sure. But you know, even when we work, bro, we've developed like we're brothers. You know what I'm saying? We developed that relationship. So if you hit me up at 10 o'clock and I'm up, I'm gonna hit you back. You know what I'm saying? Or you got a creative idea, or I got a creative idea. Like,
But
you know what I'm saying?
But you know, I know you got a little.
What?
No, I know. Like you said, you're deserving. So I
He got a little
think-
what?
A little sauce on, like he'll go off. Like that's why.
Nah.
What I'm saying is like even with knowing that I know not to text you at like, you know what I'm saying? It's because like what you saying that you give off, I picked that up.
Oh.
So I know that boundary with you. I know like you are.
But it's only, but like
I'm
your person.
I'm about to text you, but oh wait, no.
Nah, like it's different. It's different. Like we've already sat down, chopped it up. We've had conversations and stuff like that. So
absolutely.
it's like, to me, it's not a boundary that you'll be breaking. You feel me?
No, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm aspiring to be that way. Like I said, I'm still on my journey with figuring it out.
Yeah.
So I even pay attention to, even though you guys are my friends, I even still pay attention to your processes and the way you deal with people. Like even like with Drea is funny and fun, but I listen to the way she interacts and the way she communicates her business, very professional. So I still like ingest and take in pieces of all of my friends, because all of you, I think what's so great about this conversation and having you guys all here is because all of you all, some of you all do similar things, but all of you all are unique, not just in your gifting, but you're unique in your practices and your personality and the way that you convey your business to your clients and the way that they perceive you. And so I think it's great that we're able to come and have a conversation like this and offer different perspectives, and not saying that Terrence got the perfect perspective or Drea got the perfect one or David, but we all got different things that work for us, and figuring out and having a conversation and seeing what our middle ground is to help other people who might be in the same situation, who might be starting out with no clients, who might be starting out with a few clients, who might be intimidated by Atlanta or intimidated by the industry, or who don't have healthy boundaries, or that person that's up texting somebody at 5 a.m. to give them perspective to see that they don't have to stay that way, and it is not a cookie cutter plan for them to do it. It's so many different journeys that they can take to reach a better place in their business.